each side of this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So we need a stabilizer that's 22 inches long. So what I do is I sight down my wood. I want to pick a nice, I only have the light stuff left, so I pick a nice light piece. So we need 22 inches. I'll get the other ruler here. This is so simple. At least it is for me. 22 inches. Let me make a mark. Now, here we go. Go ahead, if you need to know something, go ahead and type it in. Tell me if the audio is bad. I tried a different encoder setting. Maybe that's why it was so hard to get a stream going. I kind of think it's just the holidays and people are on because they're home, but I don't know. Let's see here. I'd like to have this saw, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen. So now I normally don't cut cross grain with a knife, but I don't see my saw handy. I'm not going to spend a lot of time digging for it. I do have that camera rolling over there. Want to make sure that they can see it on that camera, so got to move all this stuff here. I've measured my plan, and let me open this up a little bit. I've measured my plan and determined that we need a length of wood 22 inches long for the stabilizer. So now we're going to cut it to length. That's why I didn't want to use a knife. It kind of makes a ragged edge, so now I got to sand it. So we know the center is 11. Tomorrow night we'll probably be sanding up all these parts to get them ready to go. We have 11 here. Let's sand this edge straight before I cut it. As I stated, I'm still going to try to I'll still make a movie, but I wanted to stream this just for the simple fact that it's what I want to do. Anyway, center line. Just 22 and this is 11. Now we have to figure out what is the tip chord. Our tip chord, let's see what the root chord is. The root chord is 3 inches, so we're good there. And the tip chord is 2 inches. So we're going to measure up gonna have to clean up the paint on my square. Can't read the numbers. Ain't nobody watching now, so no need for a whole lot of commentary except for the camera over here. So anyway, tip cord is 2 inches. 1, 2, make a mark. Tip cord 2 inches. Make a mark. Now we're going to cut the tab here. No need to draw it out. We'll just, that's just an added step. I forgot to start my timer. I can see that we've been running 5 minutes, so I'm going to make it 55 minutes. But what we're doing here is we're building us a kit of parts. So now we have the basic stabilizer. We're going to need the elevators now. So now we need to measure. Well, we know that the fuselage is a 1/2 inch. So we're going to make it 1 inch. 1/2 inch on each side here. So we have clearance for the center. 1/2 inch on each side. And this would be piece there. So we have enough there. That's good. All right. Now we need to see what the chord is of the elevator, and that appears to be 2.5 inches at the root. So we just make a mark at 2.5 inches. And at the tip, it's 2 inches. Now the elevator has an angle on it, and you wonder, how am I going to get that angle out? And what I mean by that, there's a taper better measure again. It's a good thing I did measure, because I need to make that angle first. Okay, the angle. We need to take and extrapolate this angle right here, onto this piece of wood before we cut it. So how I do that is I'm just going to lay this up on the plan here. We're going to make it parallel. And what happened to my pen? Well, nothing wants to cooperate today. Okay, it needs to be 2.5 inches at this line right here. I would have come up short if I would have cut it first. This is a pretty good sized airplane for a 25. I see there's a few people watching now. Please let me know if the audio is working. I don't see anybody on the chat. I'm hoping that the audio doesn't drop like the other video did. All right. Oops. Didn't cut it to length first. So I'm going to have to cut this to length and then hopefully I have to cut it again. I sure would like to have my saw. I just have too much stuff. Ah, found it. Good. Saw. So now we got to measure this, make sure it's 2 inches. A little more, so we need to cut 1/8 of an inch off of it. Tick. So by making that error, I just didn't get my angle correct, but we don't have to add wood, we have to cut some off, 1/8 of an inch. So now I have one elevator, and the thing to do is just transfer this onto this other piece of scrap. So this will save us quite a bit of wood by doing it this way. I guess it really doesn't matter if nobody watches this. I have to get it done anyway. But I will be doing these classes at 9 o'clock every night until this airplane is done. That's 9 o'clock Central Standard Time. the stream is rolling, the camera's rolling, and depending on how the stream comes out is whether I edit the video. So that looks pretty good. I'm probably going to have to move that camera over there because you really can't see. So let me walk over here and move this camera up and back. And we will have to pull it in when necessary. So here we go. These are the parts that I've made in the last 15 minutes. So we have an elevator stabilizer. Now, according to this plan, it has kind of an arc on the end of it. You wonder, well, how the heck are you going to get that? Well, it's all by eye. Because what it looks like now is a twister. And I don't like that. So let's take this can and see. That's too much. We need a real large arc. So I look around the shop. Maybe this. I'm not sure this is even large enough. No, that'll work. Nah, not really. I need something a little larger. I'll try this. We're getting there. Something a little larger even. I don't have anything. Well, I really don't like it. So I'm going to have to make a pattern. It's about all I can think of. So I got a piece of 16th. That's more like it. I know some of you guys aren't used to working off just little plans or whatever, but if you follow the way that I do this, it's not difficult. So we've made a pattern. The arc is a lot greater than the biggest canister that I could find in the shop. Just like the arc is on the elevator stabilizer. And as I've stated, we're not building a 100% legitimate classic airplane. I'm only building a facsimile thereof. That looks pretty good. I held it back 1/4 of an inch, so right there. Now, if you notice, when I cut that first piece, without the saw, it left a jagged edge. Now, we don't want a jagged edge, so I'm simply going to sand these to shape. It only takes a minute. Not like we're going down very far. I also need to round that corner slightly because they've got it pointy on the airplane, but it doesn't look right. Maybe I should announce this in open forum. Let's do that. I know this was supposed to be CLC exclusive, but I really need to get this to catch on. So in order for me to do that, I have to kind of promote this site. But there's going to be a whole lot more for you guys that are paid members here. The so let's go here. New topic. And we're going to center it. Control V. Gotta love these computer things. Ridiculous. PL. Okay. I kind of want to see how many people are really interested in this. So don't shoot me, guys. There'll be a lot more content for you paid members. I'm thinking about doing my drawing for the Viper. Set of plans for the Viper and let you guys download it via PDF. As soon as I can get this to take off and I know it's a valid concept, well, that looks pretty good. So now, and for the new guys coming on board, to the stream, you can back the stream up all the way to the beginning. I have it set so that you can do that. You don't need to come in blind. You know, I think Tom Morris had bent me up a horn with a half-inch. Matter of fact, I know he did. I wonder if I still got it somewhere. No, this is live. What's going on, Dane? You can back the video up. I'm recording and I'm streaming. So if you want to see how I cut this stabilizer, because if you weren't here, you can back up all the way to the beginning. Now these elevators and stabilizers are 1/4 inch. So we're not going to put a whole lot of airfoil, and I'm really not going to put a whole lot of work into this airplane when I know it's going to end up hitting the ground. I mean, that's just the way it is. So it's going to get I mean, it'll be a nice piece when it's done, but it's not going to be custom shaped, custom painted. Check. Yay, we got the stream back. Up now. Okay, back to what we were doing. Yay, we got the stream back. I'm not sure why the stream is so volatile. I'm going to have to do some more research or maybe get a different encoder. Or maybe a new internet connection. It doesn't want to work very well. Anyway, I'm gonna run over the hour mark because of all this streaming business. It's like I said, I'm still saving it to the one camera, so we're not gonna miss anything. I can edit it up and remake the movie. It's just that it would have been nice to been able to stream this. Now, I'm really going to do this old school. I'm not, this will be, you know, it'll be just like I did in the 60s and 70s. Okay, our elevators are rough shaped. I'm using 80 grit. Well, I'm glad you're back, Dane. I see the stream is working. Okay, so now we need to shape our stabilizer. I wonder if I'm running too much stuff on my computer. Maybe, I don't know. We're just a little under 3 hours into the project, and we have just about all our parts cut, trimmed, sanded, and ready to go. And as soon as I get all those parts done, this model will go together in one evening. It will finish in 2. Some of you guys will remember this is a Great Plains Easy Touch. And I use that when I need straight. I have a 30-inch, I guess it's about 18 inches, it might be a foot, I don't know. I have a 6-inch. I have them all. Yeah, this is a Great Plains Easy Touch. So, we have this done. Now, let's work on the motor mount area. We have our kit of parts. Actually, this is more than a kit of parts. It's already starting to take shape. And I was going to use 2 of these, but I'm going to split this in half. And we're just going to set that back 1/2, because it's only a 25 that I'm going to put in this. I'm just getting the motor out of my motor box. OSFP 25, donated by one of the guys on the forum. I just can't remember the name. Looks like we might have lost the stream again. No, here it is. Okay. We're just lagging behind a little bit. So I'm going to have to look back in the records and see who it was that donated this motor. But it was with the stipulation that I built this airplane. It's a brand new engine. Beautiful. So we're going to have to change out the carburetor. I'm going to have to look back in the records and see who it was that donated this motor. But it was it's a brand new one. I didn't know it was brand new. I thought it was used. So I think it was rusty. I can't be sure because I don't honestly remember. But I think it was rusty that donated this motor. So let's see what we got here. A little over inch and an eighth, inch and 3/16 we need between engine bearers. So let's see what we got here. Let's see what length we need. Inch and 3/16. A little over inch and an eighth, inch and 3/16. So if you're watching this, or if you know who gave the motor, tell, I said thank you once before, but I want you to know that it is going exactly where I said it was going. I didn't sell it on eBay or anything stupid. Inch and 3/16. So I'm going to lay in the top mount. And let's see here. Now remember, I already drew the thrust line on this when I laid out the fuselage. So I'm using a second engine bearer to lay in that first line. And now I will lay this line. And I have a small square that we're going to cut. I already drew the back half, but we don't want to cut the wood all the way down the whole length, so we got to stop right there where the engine bearers go. So I said an inch and 3/16. 1 and 3/16. Now, unfortunately, I'm going to have to walk over to the table saw. Let's see what we got going on here, and cut this motor mount in half. And it's going to be a little bit of dead air, but maybe 30 seconds. All right, so now let's cut this in half. Remember, I'm just trying to get a kit of parts going. So we got that. That's That's 50% right there. I'm just going to cut it on the bandsaw so that I'm not out of the picture. So give me just a second to cut this. Remember, I'm just trying to get a kit of parts going. So I have two motor mounts now under one. So we're only going to go back to here. Got too much junk, guys. So I have two motor mounts now. So we're only going to go back to here. All right. Got too much junk, guys. So now, keeping the knife perpendicular to the bench, you want to cut that right along the line. You don't really want the engine bearers in crooked. I could do it on the bandsaw, but what that does is take me out of the picture, and you guys will lose interest in the stream. Don't need any dead air. Any questions? Slightly choppy, but the stream is still there. Well, I've been doing my time management, working on the P51 for a few hours, and then we're going to come to this, and I think I'm going to work on my Thunderbolt for an hour. You know, if you do that an hour every night, you're going to see that in 12 days, this airplane's going to be ready to go. At only 1 hour a night. Okay, now I had a saw that before my mother passed, she gave me. I don't know what happened to it there. It's a really good jab saw for what we're doing. I've never seen another one like it. It's a little tiny flex saw. Oh, here it is. This was my mother's last gift to me before she passed away. I know it's not worth a whole lot. It's worth a bunch to me because it works great, and it is my mother's last gift to me. So anyway, I need to get it started. So I'm going to cut a hole here. with any luck, I did my measuring right, because if I didn't, I'm kind of screwed because I don't have another piece of 1/2 inch. And better stick this down through here. All right. They're a little big, that's all right. We have to fill that up. Make sure this fits. Just like a glove. So now, I had got the motor mounts cut and placed. I actually cut this slot about a 1/16 of an inch too big. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make a shim, a 1/16 inch shim, so that it fits tight. I'm going to go ahead and tack them in with CA because the epoxy is what holds the doublers on. Well, I don't even have to do that because it's no big deal. You know what? I think I'm going to tighten this one up too with a 1/16 shim. I cut on the wrong side of the line. We're just a little big, but it'll be fine. Trust me. I'm going to cut a 1/16 inch shim for the other side. That's my mistake, but there's no mistakes that can't be fixed. I mean, especially with balsa wood. Why am I having such a difficult time? There it is. I think I'll epoxy them in. Let's make sure this fits. Great shape. Put the motor back. We don't need it now. We just needed it for the trial fit. I'm thinking at 25 we'll pull this airplane with no problem. So now I take my doublers. We don't need a million miles of doubler on this stupid thing either. This length here will be sanded on the disc sander. Matter of fact, I can do that right now. Yeah, rudder come off. So now this will trace out nicely instead of goofy. So I'd like to get the rest of these parts. Of course, we were messing with the stream for a little bit there. Slightly choppy. Is it still choppy or is it still working, guys? I can't tell. This is only my second successful stream to put out, and I had problems with it. We're gonna continue on if the stream is still working. Almost took a knife in the foot there. Remember what I showed you on the elevator stabilizer. When you're scratch building, you just need to make one, and then you can copy it to the other one. I mean, the first one is the hard one, like this piece here. We're almost done. So in a matter of seconds, this was made. Now we need to cut this opening for the wing, and how I'm going to do that is just with the motor tool, Dremel. So our doublers are done, or one of them is done, and need to copy that. And of course, the other one's going to have a notch cut in it so the motor can sit down inside it. Are you guys, you need to tell me, are you guys more interested in finishing uh, stream? Would you like to see me stream a finish, or would you like to see me, what do you want to do? I don't have, Chris Rudd or anybody here that we can interview live, but I could do some more interviews if you want. They seem to be pretty successful. So to this camera, what we've done tonight is we cut out the motor mounts areas and made a doubler. All we need to do now is transpose it onto the other one. I think I am going to stop the project tonight. We've also made the elevator stabilizer, and I showed you how to extrapolate that off the 8.5 by 11. Now it's just rough sanded. It's not finish sanded, but it won't take but maybe 15 or 20 minutes to finish sand this, and it'll be real nice. It'll be real nice. My goal is to give a beginner a good airplane. I found some metal landing gear I had, and I'm going to see if I can clean them up. And I think we're going to use these for this airplane. Let's see where the landing gear mounts. Well, it says it's got wing gear, so we might do wing gear. You almost want to give a beginner. Yeah, it's pretty far forward. I don't know. I'll decide whether I'm going to use these or not. I haven't. I mean, I'm not going to use them on an airplane that I built for myself. But I got to think about. I am giving this to the beginner winner at the Nats. Beginner. Beginner. You got to remember that. Hopefully it'll move up to advanced. If I put wing mounted gear, it stands a pretty good chance of ripping the gear out. So I think I might go with these aluminum gear, even though it's not period correct to the X caliber. So I think that's what I want to do with those. So for our kit of parts, in 3 days we have all the ribs. The first day we have the fuselage and the rudder on the second day. On the third day, we have the third hour, we have the elevator stabilizer, the motor mounts, and the doublers cut. So if I wasn't messing with the stream so much, we'd be a little farther along than what we are now too. But I can only do what I can do. I see there's a few watching now. Please type in the box and let me know if the stream is still working okay. And I can tell you why the stream quit. My computer decided that it wanted to update itself and it shut itself off. We have 3 pieces of wood left, and these 3 will be for the cheek cowls and the flaps. And I'm not real sure. Yeah, I guess that's a correct shape, so I don't know. I don't know anymore. I'm going to go ahead and sand this rudder to shape, show you how long that takes. 80 grit. We're going to sand the rudder to shape. Because I gotta. This project only took about a year to get to. And I wanted to do the RD1, to be honest with you. But the guy who's doing the plans had some problems or what have you, so we didn't do the RD1. Now I'm okay. I guess he means the string. Good. So I'm sanding an airfoil into this rudder and breaking it while I'm doing it. Outboard side stays flat, inboard side gets an airfoil. Still waiting on the chatter back and forth. Now we got 3 watching, so kind of just shows you why I can build these so fast, because in 3 hours work, I mean, I tell you what, I could probably sit down and build this airplane in 1 day. one day and finish it the next. I have built hundreds of airplanes in my life. I really don't have a clue on how many. I know that when my dad owned the hobby shop, the number was way up there because that's all I was doing was building. Now I've lost the glue. I don't know where the CA is. Too much stuff on the bench. Let's get rid of this stuff. Anyway, let's see what our airplane weighs so far. That'll be a good guess. Now we know that's going to get cut in half. I bet this airplane's going to be around 20, maybe 30 ounces finished. Maybe 30. Yeah, I've lost the scale now. Boy, I can't win. Lost the scale, lost the glue. I bet the glue's falling down behind over there on that side. Nobody can see the scale, I know. Let's see, what can I do with it? Here it is. Okay, our rudder elevator weighs, two are watching now. Okay, the whole rudder and elevator scenario weighs 35 grams. 1¼ ounces for all this stuff here. Now we're going to add our ribs. We have 2½ ounces. Now we're going to add our fuselage. We have 4½ ounces. We're going to add our doublers, and I'm going to add the extra material on here onto the scale that'll be cut away. Of course, so will the ribs be hollowed out. 5¼ 645. I'm going to add all three pieces of this 1/4 inch on to represent two flaps, all the spars, and all the sheeting. So our airplane will be 10 ounces even. 10. That's it. So that's pretty good. Prowler glider for a friend. I watch this Walt sells this kit, so maybe I'll build my first big plane. Yep, Walter Unland does sell this kit. I can't remember what he said they were, whatever it was. For me, you've seen how long it takes me to build these, how long it takes to cut the parts out and make this. For me, it's not worth it to buy the kit. Walter puts out a nice kit, don't get me wrong. He has trophy trainers, and I don't know, I find it very difficult for me to build a kit. I really enjoy working from a drawing or from an idea or whatever. So we ran over a little bit longer than than the hour because I had the streaming problems. And we got quite a bit done tonight. And tomorrow night when we come back, I'm going to, we're probably going to go with finishing up the doublers. And I'll probably jig these ribs up, drill them for the rods. We still need to make some wingtips, cut some flaps. And that's basically it. There's not a whole lot to do. Left to do on this airplane. There really isn't. We have the elevator stabilizer, rudder, fuselage, and doublers cut. We just need to cut the spars, the flaps, and the tips. And that's all the parts. And I would guarantee after I had all the parts, in 2 hours I could glue it all together. And the next day, be finishing. I will probably finish this airplane with polyspan covering. You know, I don't do monocoat, so I haven't done monocoat since the 90s. I got talked into doing some monocoat on the Sorcerer, and I think two Vipers that I had monocoat finishes. And the reason that I was talked into doing that was weight. But to me, it doesn't matter how good a monocoater you are, they still look like a toy. It's, I don't know. I just can't bring myself to monocoat. I know some guys are allergic to dope, and the sanding, and the finishing, and all that business. But to me, that's part of model airplanes is the actual doping and sanding and that. I'm going to turn this up a little bit. We're basically I'm basically done cutting parts for this evening. Let's see where we are. It should come up now. I'll get to see. Yeah. Okay. As I've stated, our whole airplane weighs 10 ounces. Anybody want to wager on what it'll weigh finished? Going to be in the 30-ounce range. So I try to make monocoat look as cartoony. I've been told I'm good. I'm sure. Well, you know, like I say, some guys like monocoat. You know, if you like monocoat, hey, monocoat. I've been doing dope finishes for 50 years. And I know that, you know, that some people, you know, some new guys go 50 years of dope. Yeah, well, that's how long it's been. And you know, so I know it pretty well. And anybody that's seen my airplanes, they're not, nothing's perfect that I do, but they're close enough that, you know, 19 points, Front row at the Nats I've been several times. I haven't won a concourse yet, but as I stated, that's mostly a popularity contest because they're not really, how it gets judged is pilots a vote. So if they don't like you, you're not going to do well. But I got to say this, the Todd Lee airplane that won last year, that thing, it was a 40 size airplane, and it was nice. It was real nice. It was a well-deserved win from Todd Lee. Matter of fact, I did not fly at the Nationals last year, kind of in protest. But if I was there and he wouldn't have won, if I was there competing and he wouldn't have won, I think there might have been a protest because it was flawless. It, just beautiful. So someday I hope I can build one like that. So anyway, we're going to wrap the stream up for the evening. I have 2 videos that I'm going to be redoing. I'm pretty sure 2. I re-uploaded the video from yesterday that the track was off. I deleted that first video and redid it and made sure the track was in sync. So lesson 2 is back posted up, and it's called a redo. Lesson 2 redo. The view is not the same because it seems like we're having problem with streams, and I don't know if it's my fault, the ISP's fault. I am going to be looking into it so that we can do this. So anyway, guys, 10:30 here tonight. I've been working on this hour and a half. I'm going to call it a night. So fair winds, tight lines. I'm going to shut the stream off.